All righty. I think we are live. Thank you, everybody. Just double checking my YouTube. All righty. Good evening, everybody, and happy Friday. Happy December 2023. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I guarantee it will be a very wonderful and interesting conversation, and you would have leave with a wonderful wealth of information. So today we're going to talk about the use of essential oils and nutrition for chronic illness with our special guest, Shawn Every. I got that right. But before we begin, and if you're new here, I am Danny of Natural Ally D. I am a licensed social worker and an aromatherapist, and my mission is to simplify wellness with the use of essential oils. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know my mantra is let us learn, grow, and share together naturally. So join me. I invite you to join me in exploring the natural path to wellness by checking out my website, Aroma Buds and Blossoms, and I'll just put it right here at the bottom, and where I empower beginners and professionals with the benefits of using essential oils. All right. So thank you again for joining us. And I'm going to introduce, I guess, thank you very much, Shawn Avery, for being here today. Every for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Danny. It's a pleasure.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I'm super excited to share what you have to offer our audience today. And everybody, stay tuned, stay tuned. There will be free gifts at the end that you do not want to miss. Okay. I guarantee you do not want to miss the free gifts at the end. So I'm going to introduce our special guest here. So joining us is Shawn, affectionately known as the Oil Whisperer. I feel like that's so exotic name. I love it. She is a dedicated aromatherapist and natural wellness advocate from a charming town in Louisiana. For over 3 decades, she has shared a life of love and mutual support with her husband, embodying the very essence of partnership and understanding, while gaining victory and navigating chronic illness. And she does that utilizing essential oils and supplements. So, again, welcome for being here. We're going to get right into our first question for this evening. I talked a little bit about your background, and you're going to talk about chronic illness today. Shawn, can you give us a glimpse into your personal journey and what inspired you to guide women in particular, right, with chronic illness towards relief and higher quality of life using essential oils?
Well, Danny, it was my personal journey
Okay.
dealing with chronic illness for the past almost 20 years now.
Wow.
That
Okay.
inspired me to move forward with helping others. So I actually had a diagnosis about 20 years ago of fibromyalgia,
Mm,
which is a chronic pain disorder, and all of the symptoms that comes with it. Um, it's very debilitating disease, where it left me in the bed, like bedridden and having to be taken care of by my 12-year-old child.
wow. Okay.
Because my husband had to go to work, somebody had to keep up the household. So,
Right.
yeah, she had to grow up real fast. And so it was it was just a lot of trial and error,
Okay.
going to different doctors, different specialists, having every test under the sun done, um, just trying to find out what it was that was going on, and then getting some type of help, some kind of relief.
Okay.
So I tried different modalities, different treatments, different therapies, um, all within reason, and
Mhm.
um, it took a long time, but finally I did find relief when I pursue the naturopathic way of dealing with my health issues. It was soothing to find that relief after trying so many things, with traditional medicine, that didn't bring any lasting relief, right?
Okay. Okay.
Um, at one time, I was on 23 different medications a day
Wow.
and still feeling horrible.
Wow. 20.
So, yes, can you imagine that? 23.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
And all of the side effects that comes with it.
Mm.
Um, and once I found or started moving towards a more natural, holistic way of dealing with my health issues, um, I got relief. Like, I had fewer days with pain, the debilitating pain where it it would hurt to literally just touch me, for my clothes to touch me, you know.
Wow.
But when I was able to take in these nutrients, these supplements, um, and with the essential oils too, it was a game changer, right?
Right. Right. Right.
It
Yeah.
really helped me to get my life back, because
Okay.
I feel like I had lost so much, of myself for those number of years. But
Right.
now, be after having explored this possibility and seeing that it's helped me,
Right.
now I'm able to get back up and be the mother and the wife, that I'm used to being, and even to the point of running my own business, which
Right.
is helping other women who I know are suffering. I understand their pain.
Right.
Oh,
If- Thank you for sharing that. I don't mean to cut you off, but you said you were talking about it. And I want, for those who don't know about fibromyalgia, could you give a little bit of background of it? I mean, people may have heard of it, but what
right.
exactly is it, so they get a full picture of what you're talking about?
So it's a chronic pain disorder in which it's um your pain receptors. It's, to me, it is more of a um, mental thing, because, like I said, touching you is not supposed to cause you pain.
Right.
But because those pain receptors are not firing properly,
Okay.
then it causes, your brain is saying, hey, that causes pain to me,
Okay.
and it's
Okay.
excruciating pain. So it's a and it has to do also, and it's different for everybody. It's
Of
different for
course.
different people.
Right.
So I'm just speaking of my, you know, experience here, but it it caused the chronic pain, and it was always like someone was burning me from the inside out.
Wow.
Yeah, as if someone was holding a match under my skin.
Okay.
And it's no known cure.
Hmm.
It is also, um, some people consider it an autoimmune disease,
Okay.
um, and also it has to do with the deep tissue. So it's not muscular, although your muscles are affected.
Okay.
So it's kind of a complicated disease,
Okay.
one that has been, um, they're starting to shed more light on it now in these recent years, because it's an estimated, um I'm trying to remember what number it was, but it's a large number of the population, um mostly women, but there are men, and now there are children who are getting it as well.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Thank you for shedding light on that. So if I'm hearing you correctly, the brain receptors is overreacting, so to speak.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Yes, it's
If
overreacting.
because you said if even somebody touched you lightly, your brain is telling you that hurts, and
That
that's
hurts. Hmm.
wow. Okay. Thank you for shedding light on that, so everybody get an idea of what exactly that might look like, or
Yes.
So thank you. Want to welcome our guests here and our audience. Black Women Build Wealth. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. And she had a comment. She said, "A good friend of mine has that condition. Can't wait to hear how you managed it with naturopathic products."
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So, and you mentioned about uh, working, or your guide to what inspired you to work with women in particular. So you do work with women.
Yes.
Okay. And as someone who incorporates essential oils, as you mentioned, into your ongoing self care routine, can you elaborate on the role they have played in your personal healing journey?
Yes. So essential oils have played a big part in my journey. It I've and so as a result, I've decided to delve deeper into the world of essential oils and aromatherapy,
Right.
and it never ceased to amaze me, as far as how the synergy of these oils works
Mm-hmm.
and the effect that it has on just so many systems of our body.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, so it's the different blends, the inhalers, using different blends in my uh, diffuser
Mm-hmm.
has done so much to help to boost my mood, to help with the depression that comes with having fibromyalgia, because it's a vicious cycle. You
Okay.
know, pain causes depression, and depression causes pain.
Mm.
It also causes anxiety. You deal with the brain fog, and essential oils have been a game changer in dealing with insomnia as well. So a good blend for my peaceful night's sleep, is huge for me. Um,
Okay.
and also it's helped to reduce the number of antidepressants that I have to be on.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
as some of those 23 different medicines was different types of antidepressants.
Okay.
And it was um, my one of my favorite oils is
Mm-hmm.
bergamot.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that it was nature's Prozac
I got
and
you.
how it works with the body.
Uh-huh.
That was really huge for me.
Okay.
So it's nothing like doing me a good blend with bergamot and lang lang and lemongrass, and I'm good.
Awesome. You hear that, everybody? I taught the woes and the highs of using essential oils, and we hear someone who actually utilized it. Now, you mentioned you were on 23 medications, and
Hmm.
you pivoted towards using essential oils, but you also mentioned supplements too. That
Yes.
was a big part of your regimen. In addition to the supplements, it, did you change your lifestyle as well, or could you share more about that part of it?
Yes, I did. So all of that, like once I changed to the natural supplements, the natural products, then I realized it was a naturopathic doctor that helped me to see that, okay, you know what? We need to address some other issues as well. Because they used to tell me, well, you need to exercise. Well, who can think about exercising when you're in bed in crippling pain, you know? But when you get some relief, then you're able to start a regimen, an exercise routine. And that is what I had to do. I had to start just moving my body, walking.
Okay.
Not only does it help with the inflammation, because that's what, they found that in fibromyalgia patients there's a lot of inflammation. So it
Hmm.
helps with the inflammation, it helps with the depression, it helps with the blood pressure, everything.
Okay.
um, Also with the way I was eating, had
Mm-hmm.
to change that as well. um, just eating and not going to the extreme with anything,
Mm-hmm.
but just eating balanced meals and paying attention to the way that what you're putting in, because we have that gut brain relationship, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so when you start, focusing on that gut, then everything else kind of heals itself, right? Because
Yeah.
the body is able to restore itself. We just have to do the things necessary to, actually aid it in. We need to give it a little bit of help, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. You have to help it to do the things. But if you're putting stuff in your body that is counterproductive, right?
Right,
Things that give you inflammation, then that's not going to work. It just keeps up the chronic illness,
right.
or keeps adding to it, or should I say, fuel to the fire, so to speak.
Yes, yes,
So I'm glad that you brought that up about the naturopathic doctor. I think a number of us have probably introduced, if you have a condition, you were introduced to some naturopathic doctor that led you to the nutrition piece. And then how did you get in? So the naturopathic doctor was first, and then you went into essential oils, or vice versa.
yes. The naturopathic doctor first, because she was the one that introduced me to essential oils.
Okay.
And like I said, it's so um it was so life changing,
Okay.
the effect that it had on me.
Mm-hmm.
And always being a person that wants to help others, it
Mm-hmm.
was like, how can I keep this to myself when I know other people are suffering, right?
Right.
So thus I changed and went on a journey to become an aromatherapist, and so that I can learn how to be able to help individuals as well.
Oh, and kudos to you for doing that, because we can utilize essential oils or be with a company that sells essential oils, but we don't know how to utilize them effectively, right?
Right.
And that is so important, so definitely important. So I thank you for sharing that. You went on. You knew that you knew how to use them, but you wanted to be able to share, intelligently. so,
Yes.
and safely. I always talk about safety on this
Safe.
channel.
Right. Right.
With other, because it's not a matter of just picking up stuff. People need to know what they're doing
Right.
and be instructed, right?
Right.
For sure. We have a question here. I'm gonna see if you can answer that for me. Thank you for your question. Black Women Build Wealth says, "Do you blend the oils yourself, or you buy it already like that?" Like that.
Okay. So initially, I was using, I bought the blends, but since my aromatherapy um, certification and education, then I am able to use that to blend my own oils, in which it becomes personal at that point, right?
Okay.
Because your body, uh, and Danny can attest to this, that the fact that your body tends to crave what it needs.
Mm-hmm.
And so um, I can, by having that knowledge now, I can put together those oils and then have that synergistic effect that my body needs and that my body is craving. So I am now blending them myself.
Oh, excellent question. And so, yeah, you can buy them, but you even still need to know what you're doing with that. It's advisable to consult with somebody.
Right.
To
Right.
know what you, because there's some other questions even before you bought the blend. You knew what you were looking for, though, right?
Yes. So I it before the knowledge of what the oils did, what certain oils did, then I would actually knew I was looking for a particular thing for the oil to do.
Okay.
So it was let's say it was the fact that I wasn't able to stay focused because of the brain fog.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so there are certain blends that spoke to that,
Mm-hmm.
that are for focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I before coming into this awareness of that is certain oils that help with focus, then I just relied upon, someone else to put that blend together for me.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So even with that, you just didn't go to the store and say, I click this because I heard about this. You knew, you consulted with somebody to make sure that that was what was good for you,
Yes. Yes.
or best to the best of their ability to put together for you.
Right. And
Yeah.
I didn't like the naturopathic doctor that I went to. She wasn't an aromatherapist, but she was knowledgeable about the essential oils,
Okay.
and therefore she educated me on some things as well to the best of her ability. So I was able to use her knowledge as well.
Right. So the key takeaway here is to work with somebody who is knowledgeable with essential oils to get an idea of what you're looking for and what you're needing, because they will ask you some questions. This naturopathic doctor had your history. They knew
Hmm.
about what you were going through and what you
Right.
were experiencing, and based on their knowledge, what essential oils might be right for you. Because some essential oils can't be used by other people and vice versa. We know that, right?
Right. Like, and that's why that statement that I used about fibromyalgia, about everybody is different.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is different as far as, like you said, what things that they have going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to work with someone, a professional, to guide us to, because there are certain oils that maybe a person with a certain condition cannot use.
Eh,
And I always appreciated looking at it like this. We wouldn't go to somebody on the street and ask them, well, what should I take for pain? What kind of medication should I take for pain?
Mm-hmm.
And let them write you out a prescription, or, tell you about the medicine that you can go and get.
Mm-hmm.
Essential oils are powerful medicines.
Yes, they are very powerful.
So we need to be guided the right way to use it, and by professionals, just as you would with any type of medications, that you would go to a professional to be prescribed those medications.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because having said that statement, being powerful, one drop of essential oil is powerful all by itself. So you can imagine, you need to know just the same. And if you think about it, our medicines or conventional medicines come from where?
Plants comes from the oils. Yes.
Comes from plant life. I mean, some things, don't get me wrong, may be synthetic and made in a lab or what have you, but it comes from studying plant life and or its constituents or components in it to give you the medicine anyway. So
Right.
essential oils is a just natural potent medicine. So thank you very much for that question, Black Women Build Wealth. And thank you for pointing that out and working with a professional, right?
Hmm. Yes.
And so this, which leads me to my next question. So in your experience, those you're working with right now, you're offering personalized consultations with people,
Yeah.
right? And so working with individuals, how have you seen them benefited from the use of essential oils, and do you have any stories that you could possibly share?
So the benefits are amazing. Like I may know myself how it's affected me, but then when I see how others are benefited, it just like adds to my belief in essential oils and the power that they have and the things that they can actually do. Um, I always like to tell the story about King Frank.
Okay.
Love frankincense,
Yeah.
powerful oil. Like I had heard things about it, but never really experienced it myself. And so this was, it's kind of predated my, my consultations, what I'm doing now.
Okay.
But it was my naturopathic doctor who always told me, she said, frankincense has the power to calm people. And she said, it is it's powerful enough to calm a grieving person down. So she just told me, I don't know why she told me this. Well, I think I do know why she told me this,
Okay.
because I was able to use it in the future. She was like, so always carry your Frank with you.
Okay.
And so I would keep that with me. I was a little stingy with it because it was one of the more pricier ones,
Okay.
but I would keep it in my purse, right?
Okay.
And I was attending a memorial service
Hmm.
for a loved one.
Okay.
And it was a young lady who was so overcome with grief till
Hmm.
she was basically kind of hyperventilating,
Okay.
and so I thought about what I had been told, and I had my frankincense with me.
Hmm.
And I went up to her, opened took the top off, and I just held it under her nose to let her inhale it. And she immediately stopped
Wow.
crying. And she looked up at me as if to say, "What
What?
did you do?"
What did you just give? Right. 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 Uh huh. Uh huh.
And they were able to, the rest of the family were able to pick her up and sit her down on the bench. And from that point on, um, everybody always came to me then, from the family. It's like, where's that oil? Do you have that oil? I don't
Right.
know what it was, but it worked. And so it just adds to my belief that the power of the oils.
Right, absolutely. And you're not, and we want to make a point here about frankincense. You knew that frankincense was one of the more, how can I put it, safer oils to be used from infancy to the elderly. Because we were just talking about, some essential oils are not for individuals, but you didn't know if this person can actually use essential oil,
Right.
frankincense. But we know as aromatherapists that certain oils can be used relatively safely by any individual, young or old. So that's why you were able to offer that individual
Yes.
frankincense as opposed to a more potent oil that you would really have to ask a question as to whether or not you
Right.
could give or even let that person inhale. So I
Right.
want to make that point to everybody. It's like, oh, she just gave it to somebody. It's like, well, wait a minute. She knew with her background.
Yeah.
We know as a aromatherapist, okay, these are some um, safe zone, so to speak, a safe essential oils that you can utilize no matter whomever. So we
Right.
just want to make that point. And Black Women Build Wealth says, wow, impressive. Yes, yeah. Knowing the power of these essential oils is just amazing and awing. So I thank you for sharing that story. And for those who's watching, and particularly around this season or time of the year where people are might be grieving a loved one, right? Or might be the first holiday season for those who celebrate. It might be the first holiday season without a loved one. You might have a loved one in the military who's away during the holidays, or it just might be a time where you're feeling lonely. So, and you might be, feeling down or what have you. So that was a good tip to note to people about this particular essential oil. But that being said, you also need to get it from a reputable company.
Yes. Yes.
It's not one of those oils where you can just pick up at your local corner store. The
No.
fragrance, the frankincense fragrance oil, people. It's not the same. So thank you for that. And so, leading to my next question, for individuals in your community, like you're working with chronic illness, right? And when
Mhm.
you and not just persons with fibromyalgia, any sort of chronic illness, I'm assuming, or are you focusing on fibromyalgia? I want my audience to be clear.
I do focus on fibromyalgia. Although although I'm focusing on fibromyalgia, if someone comes to me, need help, I'm not going to turn them away, you
Gotcha.
know. But my focus is on fibromyalgia.
Thank you. I wanted to point that out to everybody. So, what advice would you give or offer for the
Mhm.
effective use of essential oils to support their well being for those individuals with fibromyalgia?
So, one thing that I always like to say is that it's not a one size fits all solution.
Okay.
Um, each individual's journey with fibromyalgia or with a chronic illness is different,
Okay.
and it's unique. I should use that word unique. Therefore, the approach is unique, and it's something that I'm passionate about as far as working with, again, a professional who can make it more personalized for you
Okay.
and make it a safe approach. So I think also that we need to remember that there's a connection between the mind and the body.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, the the body gives us signals, and we should learn to listen to those signals and use that, because we know our bodies,
Right.
you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so let's learn to listen to those cues that that our body gives us in making those decisions about our health. It and being open-minded to holistic wellness, because you have options,
Okay.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. You, it's like I said, it's your body, your health. So don't let someone tell you, well, do this, do this, do this, and don't question it, you know.
All right.
And that would be my best advice, is that um look at my journey with managing chronic illness, and how it's it was a personal journey, and it's one that's constantly evolving, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it requires me to give attention, to pay attention to the things that's going on with my body,
Mm-hmm.
and also to be patient with the choices that I'm making as far as my health, and the ways that I'm trying to um, get relief from alternative therapies.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Which, like you mentioned, it took some trial and error for you
Yes.
in order to get to the point where you are. So, working with somebody who already has a background in it would be advantageous. So, to sort of guide you in this, or give you some suggestions of things that perhaps you should think about that will help relieve the symptom. Because you mentioned about the supplements, I want to go back to that because that's important, or your nutrition piece, because nutrition and essential oils to me goes hand in hand. What about you?
Yes. Yes. I agree. I agree. Um, because it was, um, I had to pursue the nutrition piece and the supplement piece first before the essential oils kind of came in. That's the route that I took. You know,
Okay.
um, it's like the essential oils were um, something extra for me,
Okay.
an extra benefit for me.
Okay.
Um, because and I don't know if that's what you were inquiring about, like the supplements in particular, but um,
Or nutrition or lifestyle. Maybe you even had to change some of the foods you ate. I mean, maybe you had to look into
yes,
you
yes.
know, eliminating or adding certain foods to your routine in order to help with your condition.
Well, I think what started it for me
Mhm.
was I had to cleanse my gut first
Okay. Uh-huh.
because there was so much that I had been taking in, so many of the wrong things, and now I had to kind of start all over. So
Okay.
um that's that's how the doctor actually led me on cleansing journey first,
Okay.
right? And then it was like, okay, once we get this stuff out of you, so then let's address what you're putting in now. And that's when I started on um juicing,
Okay. Okay.
uh taking in my fruits and vegetables, taking in and reducing um that that tendency to want to turn to um fast food, or junk food, or, let me put it this way, a better way, comfort food,
Okay. Okay.
because that
Uh-huh.
was oftentimes what I would reach for, trying to get comfort, not getting it anywhere else, and thinking, okay, so let me just eat what I want. But at the same time was hurting myself. So
Right.
yes, I had to change a lot of things with my diet, and um, now taking in all natural products, holistic foods, superfoods,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, and I'm a firm believer in black seed oil.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That has been a huge thing as well, that has helped me.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing that journey with you. And you said something important that I want to go back to. It sounds like you had to do a reset.
Hmm.
You had to reset your body, so to speak, to prepare it to receive the things that you were trying to help it with now.
Yes. So it was, and I'm going to use this term, but I use it lightly because it's
Okay.
different for everyone. But doing a detox
Mm-hmm.
or two
Mm-hmm.
was necessary for me,
Right.
you know.
Exactly. I thank you for saying that. And full disclaimer, we are not medical doctors or anything
Right.
like that. Definitely consult your medical professional, but I'm with you about the detox. Having done detox in my life a few times,
Yes.
it's nothing like it to cleanse your body, like you mentioned, and your gut
Yes.
to help with that. Particularly, I don't know if inflammation, because that
Yes.
inflammation can start in the gut and oh we affect the rest of your body. So thank you so very much for mentioning that. So our audience, if you're working with, thinking about doing that, definitely consult a professional in relationship to that. We're not medical doctors, and we want you to be safe with if that's something you decide to do. So going back to, we're talking about you working with individuals, and thank you for the advice and thank you for sharing your journey and what that looks like. What do you see as the future of, you do personalized consultations, right? What
Mhm.
do you see as the future for what you're doing? And I'm going to drop a link to what you're doing and how people can sign up with you if you want to explain that to them as well.
Okay. So currently, yes, I do personalized consultations.
Hmm.
Working on a program where it will eventually be a group program, a group coaching program. So that's in the making for the future, the near future. And it is also my desire to um, host what I call self care parties and self care retreats. That is something that I am just passionate about.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
there's nothing like a good retreat. So
Okay.
why not treat yourself, take care of yourself? You know, we take care of everyone else.
Yes.
And I'm huge about that self care. And self care doesn't always mean a manny and a petty, right?
Right, right, right. Although they're nice, you know.
They are, yeah.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
But so all that, but an ultimate self care project would be a retreat. So that is something that is in the future for me
Hmm.
and my business. Currently, I am working with women now,
Okay.
and that link that you put up there is how you can actually sign up to be a part of my community that I'm building and growing,
Okay.
and receiving my updated newsletters as well.
Okay.
Um, and I don't know if you wanted me to mention it now, Dan, and what my surprise is, but
Ah, but you already went into it because you already led into the next question. So I appreciate that about how people can contact you. So this is the website for people to contact you for personalized consultations, right? To sign
right,
up.
they can can on that site is where you'll enter your name and your email address.
Okay.
And but as far as contacting me,
Hmm.
um you can find me on Instagram. Always send me a DM, and I am just as that website says, the Oil Whisperer, Oil Whisperer. That's my handle on Instagram. And reach out to me, and I'll be happy to set up a discovery call with you, and we can move forward from there.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Which now you can tell you your special, for all of our special guests who's here. I mentioned at the top of the hour that there is a free gift, but I wanted to, before we get to the free gift, and you're going to want to stay for this free gift, y'all. What would you say would be your final message that you want to convey to the audience about overall well-being, especially for those dealing with chronic illness?
Um, so I think I kind of touched on it a little bit,
Okay.
how it's important for us to take charge in our role in our own healthcare.
Okay.
Um, it's you become empowered with the knowledge of different avenues, different therapies, things that are out there that you can use to help you to deal with your chronic illness. I share a lot of things in my posts, on social media, to things that you can add to your toolkit that you can use to take this control. It's um it's like I like this saying that says, if you don't take time for your health, then you will be forced to make time for your illness.
That's a powerful statement.
So,
Yes,
and just think about that. That means taking charge. That means prioritizing ourselves and our care, our health care, our self care, being proactive in our wellness journey. Again, don't sit back and just take anything what somebody tells you. You have to take charge. So that's my thing. I just encourage anyone who's dealing with a chronic illness to explore the possibilities to empower yourself in
absolutely.
making your own health decisions.
All right. All right. Thank you for that. Somebody, Black Woman Bill Wells said that was a word you just gave. Yes, it was. I totally agree with that. She also mentions we need to be more intentional about taking care of our health.
Yes,
Absolutely. Because if you don't stop, your body will stop.
it will. It will stop you.
And say, okay, what we doing here, right? So
Yes.
thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. So now getting to our free gift for those of you who are on, you're going to be happy that you're excited. For those of you who watch the replay, you're going to be super excited to hear what our free gift, our audience, she has for today. You want to share what your free gift is?
Yes. So, um, the free gift is that anybody who goes to this site and enter in their name and email address it's not a drawing. It's not a something you have a chance to win, but you will actually receive a $25 gift card to be used on my site of the natural supplements. I have a natural supplement health store, online health store, and that will be my gift to you all for tuning in and watching. And that will be available. And I need to get that email by Sunday night, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time.
All right. So everybody heard that? So let's repeat it for the people in the back. Say it again.
All right. So go to that site that you see posted there.
Let me go back. Uh-huh.
All right. And you will enter your name and email. When I receive that email, I will send you a $25 gift card to be used on my health and wellness store. That's
All
for
right.
anything on there.
And that's for anybody. So those of
Yes.
you who's watching it now, or anybody, is it also includes, I want to be clear, does it include the people who watch the replay?
Yes, if I get that information before Sunday, you watch that replay, you send that in before Sunday night, then you will be getting that as well.
All right, people. So if you know anybody who this information could benefit, right? Black Women Build Wealth, you say you know somebody, perhaps your friend would be interested in getting a free gift card to see how this can be advantageous for them, or work with Shawn. Send it out, everybody. Share it. That's such a blessing and a generous gift, right? And to and may that blessing that you give individuals who watch this or who watch the replay, may that blessing come back to you a hundredfold.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that I think that is an awesome. And in this season of holiday season, I know everybody doesn't necessarily celebrate Christmas, but just in the holiday season of giving,
Right.
okay, of Thanksgiving, or um, in the spirit of the holiday season. So I think that that is an absolutely wonderful gift that you're giving our audience. So I thank you so very much for being here today. I don't see any questions in the chat. If you have any more questions for Shawn, today we were talking about dealing with chronic illness and using essential oils. For anyone who may have just joined, um, using essential oils and nutrition together to help chronic illness, in particular fibromyalgia. Let's see. Uh, Black Women Build Wealth says that's generous. Thank you. So she's already
You're
thanking you in
welcome.
advance.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yes, I think that.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes. Oh, goodness. She says, Black Women Bill said, this was a great combo. We'll share with my friend. Yes.
Awesome.
Feel free definitely to share with any and all individuals who might be, can benefit from, because you just never know who
Right.
it could benefit in this wellness space. I think both me and Shawn and I share the similar passion of health, particularly for our community,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you mentioned about going to a conventional doctor. You mentioned about how that wasn't helping. And of course, the conventional doctors don't tell you about nutrition. He just said lose weight, right?
Right.
and and how you were going to lose that weight. Were they offering you a medication to do that, or they just told you to lose weight?
Just told me lose weight. And I was at when I would ask how am I supposed to do that? He said, well, we don't know much about weight loss. We know about weight gain. Really?
Interesting. Okay. Hence, he couldn't share with you how, you know, having a nutrition base or thinking about using supplements might help you, because he or she wasn't trained in that.
Right. Right.
So all they could offer you, unfortunately, was a prescription.
Right.
And if you don't mind sharing, you mentioned about 23 medications. Are you on any medications now, or has that been reduced?
Oh, thank you for asking. You'll be happy to know that from 23, I am down to 3.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? 23 down to 3 medications. I know it was one of my follow-up questions, so I'm glad I remembered it. 23 to 3. And I don't know about you, audience. I can't imagine 23 medications. That takes up the palm of your hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, because that's not 23 different pills, because some were more than one time a day. So those were 20, that was 23 prescriptions.
Okay.
So sometimes it was maybe could have been 30 or more pills a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Ashley, thank you for being here. She says,
Yes.
congratulations. Yes. And Black Women Build Wealth is saluting you and celebrating you for getting from 20 to 3. That's significant, y'all. And in the medical community, they don't necessarily, you have to work with the right person to actually work
Right.
on reducing your medicines.
Yes. That was some hard work, because and it wasn't without assistance with the from my doctor, because I would always go to them and say, look, this is my goal, to get off this medication. This is what I'm doing. And fortunately, I had doctors who were willing to work with me and assisting me in weaning me off and getting, doing the necessary steps to be able to safely get off those medications.
Wow. Ashley says that had to have been overwhelming.
It
You
was,
know.
it was, and constant side effects. Um, and it was at one point that one of the medications that I was taking for something else ended up causing me to start suffering with Parkinson's disease.
Mm.
So then I had to take a medication for Parkinson's disease. So it was always something going on.
So for a visual, it was like a domino effect. You took one
Yes,
medication for this, and then okay, now I have this, and now I got to take a medication for that.
right,
So had you not taken control and said, enough is enough,
right.
I wonder, how many more medications might they have introduced to you?
It's it's okay to them, because like you said, this is what they're trained to do. So it was going to be an ongoing thing. But again, you said the word, taking control, take
Yeah.
charge. Yes.
Right, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. And I thought it was very important for people to know that it is possible if you can take charge of your health, like you mentioned, and working with your community, that you want to help them to take charge the best of their ability as much as they can. We mentioned everybody is different, right?
Mhm.
Everybody's body is different, and of course, the results may differ. You know. But definitely working with a healthcare professional who is willing to listen to you and say, hey, my goal is, you know, to
Yes.
to do X, Y, and Z. And if that isn't their goal, then you might want to seek another healthcare provider.
There you go. There you go.
I'm not knocking anybody. If in the audience somebody watched this and you're a healthcare provider or you just love your doctor, I'm not saying just drop them like a bad habit, but it might be something. It might be something you want to consider. You like, okay, thank you very much. you
Right.
know. So I thank you for sharing that. Again, I want to we mentioned the free gift. You want to mention it one more time for the audience?
Yes. So please go to that website, enter your name and email address, and I will in turn send you a $25 gift card to be used on my health and wellness store, my online store, with those supplements that I take. You can find all of that there. Some essential oils as well.
Right. So thank you for that generous offer. I want to get to two of the comments before we wrap up here. Ashley says, she said, I came in late, but we'll have to watch the beginning on replay. I know friends who deal with fibromyalgia, most definitely. And
Yes.
share with them share with them this video because they do have an opportunity to get the free gift until when, Shawn?
Until Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So all those who even watching the replay, you have an opportunity to get this free gift. So not all is a loss. And another comment here by Ashley. She said, I have switched before. You have to find the right one to work with you. So true.
Yes.
Yeah, because some doctors might not want to hear that you're trying to reduce medication.
Right. They don't, to them, they don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I I believe that, and I also wonder how much of an incentive they get to writing prescriptions in the first place. Ooh, I'm
Did she
stepping
say
on.
it out loud?
I said it out loud. I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes, but it makes me wonder, right? And
Yeah.
I do have a friend who's been in the pharmaceutical community, so you
Mm.
get a little hint of that. How I just wonder how how much of an incentive it is for you to write prescriptions. I could be wrong. Don't come after me, but I just wonder. I just wonder. I'm just putting the thought out there, right? So Ashley is sending you some love. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank
We
you,
we
Ashley.
we, we return that love to you right back as we wrap up here. We're at 7:59 and we're at the end of our hour. I thank you for those of you joining us. Thank you so very much, Black Women Build Wealth. Thank you, Ashley. I thank you for committing to sharing with many people as you can so they can benefit, all that is available to you. Working with Shawn and her company and um, for those particularly with chronic illness and fibromyalgia that she can help with and have those personalized
Yes.
consultations with. I would definitely take advantage of the opportunity and the free gift, because how often does this come along, y'all? It's true, true blessing. So thank you, Shawn Every, for being here. And as we wrap up, I want to say, remember, let us continue to build true wellness together, right? So explore the world of aromatherapy. We talked about aromatherapy today. I lovingly invite you to also check out my website, Aroma Buzz and Blossoms, where you can to sign up. I also have a newsletter as well, where I'm talking about general use of essential oils for beginners and self-care professionals, or caring professionals, to incorporate essential oils into your routine simply and safely. So I also invite you to look into that today. So thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here tonight and being our, what do you want to call it, our Friday night dates, so to speak. It has been an absolute pleasure to serve you all. And God bless you. I love you. Until next time. Bye bye for now.
Good night.
Stay on, Shawn. Thank you so very much. Good night, everyone. Remember to share.